I got to ask you about this chapter. The professional managerial class has sex. You write, the sexual revolutionary to whom we owe many of our progressive ideals about sex is the Marquis de Sade, an aristocratic class trader and a hopeless sexual deviant. He was the supporter of the French Revolution who spent much of his life in miserable prison cells writing pornography. I mean, I totally agree with you. I wrote about kink.com in one of my books. I went out to the video news convention where the porn industry was. For another, that was Empire of Illusion. But anyway, talk about that. I'm totally on board.
About well, from this Enlightenment moment when the Marquis de Sade was actually a really smart guy, and he said, if there is no God, then of course everything is permitted, and we can use other people for our pleasure. The beginning of sadism. This was a vanguard position, deviant, antisocial vanguard position in the during the French Revolution, which is why after the Revolution he was locked up again. But he was thinking about how every form of perversion should be permitted, and therefore the French Revolution should liberate us from any belief in sin in the Catholic Church, and power and pleasure would become part of everyone's field of activity. And strangely enough, this kind of logic is part of the logic of the counterculture, where it believed that it had invented new forms of sexual relation designed to tread the edges of what was humanly permissible. The most extreme forms of academic sexual identities say that, we can be transhuman, we're not human, we are, we can, there are different combinations of human machine, human animal, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, I'm talking about the most parodic exaggerations, but during the 60s and 70s, sexual liberation, I think, became a question of another professional managerial class managed, rationalized set of activities where the PMC believed that you could read books and then have the best sex ever. And that fulfillment, sexual fulfillment, as it comes from the Enlightenment, comes from this kind of sexual liberation. The fact of the matter is that working class people, normal people, what people on the internet call trad people, traditional people, but traditional ideas of partnership and family include a notion of sacrifice and honor. And this is out of the picture for the counterculturalists and the hippies, where everything is just about fulfillment. And you can see its parodic and elaboration in a figure like Elon Musk, because and all the billionaire oligarchs who are moving from wife 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because there's something about like sexual fulfillment for them that is made available through power. And the whole idea, and this is what a lot of my radical liberal colleagues would find really normative and horrible for me, but the whole idea that human beings were limited in our expressions and should be limited by social responsibilities, domestic responsibilities, and that this idea of sacrificing fulfillment and expression is a highly social thing to be engaged in, even in the absence of God. This idea has been completely lost to the PMC, who want to be radical. And one of the biggest ads that you see on social media targeting middle-aged men is, all of these, Viagra-like products now, that you should be virile till the end of your life, satisfy your woman. There is no limit to pleasure and expressivity and fulfillment. And I really feel like their ancestor is the Marquis de Sade, because that's the limitless idea of pleasure in the absence of God, this kind of antisocial deviance that can produce, personal fulfillment. This is like the ironic legacy, and I think Sade was clever enough to be ironic about this, of a kind of pure emancipation of the sexual drives. And there's obviously like enormous amounts of discontent in marriages. There's patriarchy and everything that comes with it. but I was also really directing this at second wave feminism, which was so focused on sexual fulfillment and expressivity for white collar college educated professional managerial class women. I mean, literally, Betty Friedan said, "We have all these women at home discontented in their um, in their suburban homes in 1959. If only they could be liberated to compete with men on the job market. If only they could be liberated to realize themselves sexually on the sexual market." It comes next after that. Sorry, that was a very long answer to your
Well, it's also the
question.
way that they've redefined. I mean, Hillary Clinton did this. They redefined the notion of feminism, where feminism becomes about becoming a CEO of a big company, not about empowering working women. I'll go back to Andrea Dworkin. But it's that again. It's that kind of inversion of values where it's the breaking a glass ceiling for a privileged, empowered woman rather than empowering a group.
Or rather than seeing in your struggles the struggles of other people, and in your success is not a political thing. It's not a political achievement for other women. And I don't understand why people could promote themselves like this, except that they were so identified with professional success.